Hey guys, so you ready for today's August 21st, 2021, 4:55 p.m. Central Time. Afghanistan, China will save America. I was taking a break from social media this weekend. I was talking through some stuff regarding Afghanistan with my husband, and I figured out what's going on in Afghanistan. And he's like, you need to do a video on that. You can't wait till Monday. And it needs to be public. So I'm doing a video on it. Just to get out of my head, too, will help a little bit. Just maybe get your guys' opinion, too. But before I go into the video, first of all, send this video to a mainstream media outlet because they are not asking the State Department the right question. I cannot believe I've watched every State Department press conference and nobody's asking the right question. Everybody's like, how many Americans are in Afghanistan? How many Americans are in Afghanistan? That's not the right question. The question they need to ask the State Department, not the Pentagon, is how many Americans have signed up on the Afghanistan embassy's website for repatriation? Question mark. Somebody please ask the State Department that question, because that will say a lot. Because they keep saying that we'll get out, and Biden's dumbass just said, we'll get out every American that wants to come out of Afghanistan. Well, the people who signed up for the repatriation on the embassy's website are the people who want out of Afghanistan that are U.S. citizens. So someone please ask the State Department. Beside the point. So I've been up all night and stuff, can't sleep, doing stuff. Anyway, because this Afghanistan thing's really pissing me off. And I kind of thought through stuff because when I served, let me give you some background for a moment, in case I'm right, too. Because if this is accurate, this is... wow. I have entirely too many told you so moments on my Patreon account about a lot of things that it's obnoxious sometimes. And if this is another told you so, wow. I don't deal in conspiracies, so this is like an actual possibility, okay? When I was serving in the Marines for 8 years, ISIS didn't exist, okay? They had not formed yet. China was not a big player in Afghanistan per se regarding anything. So none of this really came into my thought process because I was talking to James and I was like, what doesn't make sense about Afghanistan right now? Because the State Department sent out this morning a notice to everyone who signed up for the repatriation on the embassy's website saying, don't come to the airport because there's a security threat. Well, eventually, coming throughout the day, apparently it's an ISIS threat from the region. And I was like, what the hell? Because ISIS, I haven't, okay, here's the deal. Let me go back for a second. I have not dealt with the Middle East regarding Afghanistan since I served, okay? I have been a federal contractor since I left for a different Middle East country that, yes, absolutely deals with Afghanistan, that has nothing to do with China, obviously. So I do have an idea about what's going on in the region, but not to this degree. So anyway, I was like, what's the deal here? Because the Taliban, dealing with the Taliban, is as long as I have. Their behavior right now is very, in my opinion, quite odd, okay? They have these checkpoints set up, obviously, and they're keeping everybody, like Americans, Afghans, whoever, away from the airport, right? Regardless of what Biden seems to think. And I'm like, why, if they want us out of the fucking country, why are they standing in our way? If anything, they should be like soldiers next to it, like down the entire streets of Kabul, and just standing there like staring people down as they go to the airport. So I'm like, why are they preventing this? It doesn't make sense. And then this ISIS thing comes out this afternoon, saying that's what the threat was this morning. And ISIS, as far as I'm concerned, is a bobblehead in the area regarding terrorism, regarding relationships. Because the Taliban and Al-Qaeda and even some of the Iranian-backed forces like Hamas and stuff like that, and they don't per se get along. Like the Taliban and the Al-Qaeda are buddies. They are not one, but they are buddies. Their philosophy is very similar. But ISIS is a whole other like crazy degree that branched off of Al-Qaeda. So they're obviously the little new group in town. So they're just kind of used by people, if anything, and they're there to bother people. That's what I said in my other video. And when I mean bother people, I mean bother these other terror groups in the area and cause problems. So I was like, why the hell would the Taliban allow ISIS to get anywhere near the airport entrance to bother us at all? And so I was in the shower and I was thinking it through, because like I said, I haven't slept, so I've been up thinking about this stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I figured it out. Because China, and a few of you have already said this, and it's pretty well known, China already said that the Taliban said that they're going to create a government August 31st, when we're supposed to be out of there. That's how many days are in this month, right? Yeah. That's the day that they said they were going to create a government. China has already said they will recognize them as the official government of Afghanistan. Okay? Everybody kind of knows that already. With that being said, the only thing I can think of when I say China will save America, this is how China will become the new superpower. Because we supposedly have some ridiculous agreement, which isn't working anyway, with the Taliban saying, hey, you need to let people into the airport. Whatever. So China's the smart one in this anyway, because the Taliban, they are militarily smart, tribal smart, okay? But they aren't strategic to this degree. So China's pulling the strings. So how can we prevent more people getting into the airport and keeping people in Afghanistan without having to do it ourselves? The Taliban is not the one asking that question. China is the one asking that question. Because the Taliban needs, first of all, people to stay in Afghanistan because their army is depleted, okay? So they need some serious recruiting. But on top of it, just to control people. I mean, that's what they do. They have not changed their ways. They have not reformed. People are fucking out of their minds. So China, let's say this, China contacts the Taliban, says, go contact dumbass and ISIS in the region and tell them to go bother the airport. So that the Taliban is no longer the problem. They're not breaking their commitment to the U.S. Because China wants to keep Americans in Afghanistan. Because I will say this, if nothing in this video is accurate, this statement is. This will be the biggest, largest, hugest hostage situation and slaughter of Americans in the world for decades to come. This is going to be like crazy, unbelievable, because we're not going to get everybody we need out by the 31st. We're not going to get all U.S. citizens. We're not going to get all our Afghan little buddies. They said that the Pentagon today said that out of the 17,000 people that they have gotten out of Afghanistan since blah, 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 only 2,500 are Americans. That doesn't even make sense. The numbers don't come up. And on top of that, most of those people are refugees. They're not even the special immigrants licenses that are supposed to be coming in, that the people that will help, the people that helped us, okay? Those aren't the people getting on these planes, or haven't been. So it's like, you're nuts. Biden's nuts. Everybody's nuts. British is pissed. Everybody else is pissed. All our allies are pissed that we have this deadline. They're scrambling and all this stuff. So China wants to keep Americans, as many Americans as possible, inside Afghanistan. Why? Because once we are out, if we are dumb enough, if we are sincerely dumb enough to leave Afghanistan, pull our military out, and leave Americans behind, and our little ally, Afghans. I can't believe we'd do that. But if we do, China already has its hand in Afghanistan, right? Period. End of story. They are going to swoop in and say, hey, Taliban, do not touch American citizens. We will be the one to send them home. They are going to become the negotiators with the Taliban to get American citizens out of Afghanistan. They will say it will take, I don't care if it takes 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years. They will span it out for as long as they have to in order to control this situation. Because China will absolutely become the world's superpower overnight if that happens. Just by this, not even needing to deal with economics or anything else. And China's already keying up to fuck up Taiwan as it is. And that's a whole other debacle that I don't know what Biden's going to do or anybody else. But beside the point, that's how this is going down. The Taliban stepped aside this morning, shoved in ISIS to bother people, to keep people back away from the airport because China told the Taliban to do so. Once we leave, hopefully we don't, Americans behind, China will come in and save the Americans. That's how all this is playing out. Because none of this behavior by the Taliban is making sense. Even throw this in there. Everybody's starting to talk about how the Taliban's on social media. They're on Twitter. And everybody's been out of shape about it. China runs Twitter. Okay? So if I'm accurate, that is exactly why the Taliban has accounts on Twitter. Okay? That's the other little situation that could be in here. So Afghanistan, this entire situation that was, I don't care whether you said it, you guys say it's set up by Biden. I don't think so. I think they are so incompetent that they screwed this up so fucking bad. I mean, I don't even want to go down that road again. I don't think this is set up at all. I think China is absolutely taking advantage of this situation because they see the ultimate outcome game. Because China has, interests in Afghanistan besides terror groups. I mean, they want all the resources out of Afghanistan. They want their little road going through Afghanistan. They're buddies with China. I mean, Russia. China's just, all over that region and fucking all over the world at this point. So they've got other interests. It's not like they're just like, hey, let me pull the strings of the Taliban to get where we need to be. No, they're going there anyway. So while they are there, what can we do to help elevate us on the world stage? Save Americans. That is my theory. If we are dumb enough to leave Americans behind, I truly think that will be the case. Hopefully we're not. And if Biden does say to the military and Austin, who is completely incompetent, the Secretary of Defense, completely, he has been over his head since day one. He never should have gotten that position. I have been critical of him since he got it. He never should have gotten it. He's made so many mistakes on his own besides listening to Biden. If Austin is dumb enough to not push back so hard on the Biden administration saying, no, we do not leave Americans behind, and he pulls the military out of there, this is exactly what's happening right now, period. This is exactly the outcome it will be, period. This is Are You Ready For It? Take care, guys. Have a great day.